You know, I really got to find a way so that you can see my camera at the same time I see yours. Because
Yeah.
you'd not be able to see me just getting more and more annoyed as we do these at you. Uh-huh. But don't give me that look. I can see your face. You can't see mine. And I'm poking fun. Hello, everybody. Rob Barefoot here with James Hutt. Mayor's Desk is back. It has been a month and a half since we've been able to do the last one. It has been crazy. Absolute insanity. All good things, though.
Shadow Scar Sanity.
God. I actually still got to make sure we send out that mini that everybody's getting for free today. That's on the docket. PDFs are going out. For a lot of people, the Kickstarter is already done. They're getting their PDFs. People are starting to talk about the game. It's been good. But yeah, hello everyone. How are you doing? Let's go ahead and get the actual screen up here so everyone can see. There we go. Hey y'all, how you doing? Yes, we are alive. It's just when you work in game design, sometimes you get slammed, okay? Even me. God, it has been nuts with things going on with Witcher, with Cyberpunk. I can't talk about the Cyberpunk stuff. I do know people are going to be curious about Interface Red Volume 5, but we won't go into that. Can tell you, though, that you're most likely going to be seeing the November DLC most likely next week. We're trying to get that out before PAX Unplugged. And remember, we are not going to be at PAX Unplugged. Me and Jay Gray are going to be going there to just attend and chill. But RTAL as a whole is not going to be at PAX Unplugged this year. There's too much going on. Like, every single person in the crew has their hands full with a project or with a game. But one other thing too, back at Gen Con, long time from RTAL, my mouth needs to work right. Long time friend of RTAL, Diamond Dust, she came to volunteer for us, and you could say one of the worst things that could happen. She unfortunately had a medical emergency, and she quite literally didn't even get out of the hospital until the last day of the convention. And she's been trying to catch things up with medical bills. So we all talked with the crew today. If y'all want to catch or do anything like that or help out, in the description of this Mayor's Desk, you can find her GoFundMe just to give her a hand. Medical bills are one of the biggest pains, and we can go on for hours about them. But if y'all are able to give a hand, please do. She's been one of the louder voices of the community, helping people out, teaching people how to play, running nonstop games. So if you can give her a hand back in return, we would be immensely thankful. Okay. So I think we're going to start doing the thing people are coming here for. What do you think, James? Almost called you Jay. Oh, they say you're silent? How? Hold on. You had such an eloquent beginning. That is strange. Why? That was really deep, man. All right, on it. Let's find out. Say something for me. That's strange. You were working as of earlier. Oh, no, it's not going to be on your side. I hear you. I hear you. So, tracking it down now. Leave it to OBS to do something that you had perfectly fine 10 seconds ago. It's going to be on my end. I'm on it. It's not a sesh without some kind of Yeah, it happens. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, testing.
Oh no, it wouldn't be yet. Say something.
Okay.
There we go.
Testing.
Fix it.
Testing.
Leave it to OBS to update my default, and that's what happened. It switched the recording of the sound from normal to default. And, of course, default's never the actual default of the computer. Never mind. So,
Never mind.
They
Well,
heard me. They did not hear you. So I will let you go again.
I'll run it back.
Okay.
Um, basically, here's what I said. This is awkward now.
Oh yeah. No, welcome to my life.
But
You know how many times I've
it
done
was
this on a
really
stream for
heartfelt the
myself?
first time.
I know it was deep.
This
I feel bad.
time I'll it'll be equally heartfelt, but hey, I got a revision in. So basically, I'm how I see this is, I fully believe that every once in a while, a community has a chance to prove, its love and dedication to its own members. And I believe that this is one of those circumstances. So please give. I plan to give. Thank you if you do. And I'm sure that we can all join together and essentially wish Diamond Dust to get well soon. That's what this is. Us standing up for us, by us. It's how community works, and I know we can do it. That's it.
Yeah, you nailed it. You said the things that you were saying earlier, so you got it. I just noticed something, dude. The last time we did a mayor's desk was before your trip to Scotland. Yeah. I'm looking here in the channel, like it was back then.
That's a long time.
Yeah, we've been running on empty. Oh my goodness. Heck, Mike went to Poland and came back since then.
I've been using all of that extra energy to do a bunch of extra work.
We won't go into. I'll at least share this. We can go ahead and say the military gear and drugs and weapons. That playtest has been the longest one we've ever done. So I hope you guys are gonna be happy with what IRV5 is gonna be packing.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. My God, that thing is huge. It's huge.
Super big thank you to everyone who playtested. I've read all your feedback. It was great. Thank you guys.
Now, since we only have, go ahead.
Yeah, we got limited time. Maybe we should get into it.
What do you mean limited time? You're stuck here with me now.
If they only get this once every month.
No, we're gonna be doing this more again now that it's back and going. The only time I'm not gonna be able to do it is when I have to do that thing on an upcoming day that I can't talk about, but people will be able to see soon. Because stuff and reasons. Lot of those. Yeah, there is. There's a lot. We'll start this off though with Korgopolis. In the core rulebook for upgrade expertise, one of the listed ways to upgrade an item is upgrade a vehicle with an upgrade that only requires a Nomad rollability rank of 1. Then, when discussing how much this costs and the difficulty values in the next paragraph, it says the DV you roll against and the time it takes to install the upgrade is based on the price category of the item you are upgrading. The one exception is vehicle upgrades, which are being treated as 1,000 EDs, which is very expensive for this purpose. His confusion here is whether these two together mean that vehicles are considered very expensive for upgrade expertise, or only the vehicle upgrades. I think it's vehicles.
It says vehicle upgrades, and it means vehicle upgrades.
And he says, additionally, if the intent for vehicles to be very expensive, does that mean that tech upgrading any vehicle upgrade that is considered luxury for being bought also has it counted as luxury?
This is about tech upgrading vehicle upgrades now, correct?
Yeah.
So a vehicle upgrade is listed as 1,000, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So when you tech upgrade something, you pay... yes, I think that follows.
Okay, I'm going to say, don't make me grab the book. People are already saying I look slanted because I know it's from my bookcase, but this is the library I always grab from over here, y'all, just so you know. Yeah, it is the category it is. It's just that's whenever you're doing the actual upgrading of the vehicle is when it counts.
Yeah.
Either way. And also, Jay, for the record, hey Jay, how you doing? Yeah, I forgot. Hi, Jay. I can't do it next week because I'll be at PAX. So all right, that one's at least checked. Lore questions. From Arcadia. I always think it's Arcadia or Arcadia, but I think it's Arcadia. Hey, folks, but a
I'm
lore
just excited for the
question.
lore question right now.
Oh, yeah, going metal. You ready for an FBC question?
Okay. I love those.
Dude, I used to hate those. Before I worked for RTAL, people talking about FBCs drove me crazy. Let's see. So when I said that, they kept trying to power game it instead of making it something different. It was the power
FPCs
game.
are fine as long as they're balanced at your table.
Bingo.
They're part of the fun. The problem is it's hard to get that right. That's why that was really hard to write.
I remember in the lead up for IRV3, whenever I finally saw the stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool. All right, these are actually balanced as heck. I'm good with this. And the community caught on that I was no longer hating the FBC talk. That became one of the memes in the community. I'm just so happy we're not doing APCAs, though. That would drive me crazy. So let's see here. Going Metal mentions that FBCs have their own subculture, some including their own slang. Would you have any fun samples of slang Borgs likes to use? Cool.
That's a good point. We have a lot of, if you look into the 2020 Solo Fortune stuff, you have, I believe Adam Smasher himself has an article where he goes over how he feels about things. Spoiler alert, he's not a nice man. And he is part of the FBC subculture. He's just represents like the really nasty wing of it. There's a lot of people that like have grayer shades of those opinions, and do not believe in the level of like superiority that he does, because that's gross. Like I said, not a good guy. Not a good guy. And then there's any like, in terms of specific slang, I believe we have some in Going Metal. I think Samantha, right, is our narrator for Going Metal. Yeah. Samantha has a couple in there, but they don't really do slang, but there is definitely an in-group, out-group thing. Being an FBC is entirely unlike anything else that you've done up to the point where you are an FBC. So most of it is like finally getting a chance to talk to somebody who understands about something you've gone through that was big and traumatic and life-changing. So that's culturally more of what it's like. And I do want to underline that the Adam Smasher's opinion about FBCs in 2020 is not held by all FBCs, and it would be really weird if it was. I mean, even in Edgerunners, spoilers for Edgerunners, David, in his fight with Adam Smasher, Adam Smasher is like, this person doesn't even matter, even if they're close to an FBC. They're not really an FBC, and it's such a shame. Maybe they could be, and then I think it's translated as you could never be a construct, or something about that. What was that line again? Remind me.
Wait, say one more time. I was checking chat when you said that last bit.
You could never be a construct.
You would make a good construct.
You would make a good construct. That's right.
There's also terms he uses during that fight that stand out, showing he really gives very little regard to people who still have organic bodies, viewing them as livestock.
He believes in total superiority.
Yeah, that's the reason for the whole phrases of nobody leaves the slaughterhouse, butchery, things like that. He likens people to cows. But I want to answer something really fast in the chat. We will get to chat questions if we can today. We're trying to get through the backlog, but we're right at that point where we might get to chat questions. So for right now, we're just going through the backlog because some folks have been waiting almost a month and a half for some questions, if not longer. So y'all know, just so y'all aware.
We'll hopefully get to them. Let's try.
But all right, so from J. Jonah J-Lo, I remember that name. That's a fun name. Always a fun name. What is the process like for fabricating a net architecture? Do you need to fabricate each floor separately with a separate material cost for each one? Or do you just need materials one price category lower than the cost of the entire architecture? Can nodes and black ice be fabricated and installed separately from the base architecture? Okay, multiple questions. Okay, a lot of
Okay.
questions in one.
This is one of those ones where this is now one stage too difficult to do live and on camera. So I'm going to skip this and take a look at our errata.
Okay. Well, this is the
So,
thing I'll say for it. What would you say? They would try to fabricate the whole box or just per floor? Just simple as
I
that.
don't.
Okay.
I don't want to give an
Question
answer that's
vetoed.
half-assed.
Question vetoed. All right, so
Okay, let me take a note though,
okay.
'cause it does matter when you point things out to us. Okay. Fabricating. Stupid pen. What is this? Net architecture.
I'll link you the question too in Discord so that way you can directly go to it and reference it. I think that'll be quicker for you.
I appreciate it, but I'm an analog gentleman sometimes.
Oh, I know. I'm analog despite using a digital tablet for all my writing. All right, so nope. Since you vetoed, we continue on. Let me find where we were.
I didn't veto. I want to actually answer the question in not. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. So, from Jericho Saxus, I actually got that name right. As the hoverboard Tansen Jet Boy, Black Chrome page 78, is a vehicle, I technically should not be able to use melee and martial arts moves while on it. On the other end, it is a hoverboard and my hands are free. So, do you think that someone on a hoverboard Tansen Jet Boy should be able to at least use hands for melee and martial arts? I've got a comment about this already, but I'll let you answer.
Being on a vehicle does not preclude you from using any. That is not true. You do not have that correct. Vehicle rules specifically allow you. They don't stop you from using melee weapons. Certainly, and they wouldn't stop you from using martial arts either.
I was just going to say something funny. I wonder if anybody's ever tried to punch somebody on a surfboard. I mean, if people want to get technical with it, if you're on the hoverboard specifically and you're trying to punch and swing at people, just give them a -2. Have some fun with it. You push one way, the air pushes the other. All right.
Yeah.
Why is the music not coming through? Ignore me. I'm mumbling out loud.
I mean, it was literally designed when I was doing the vehicle combat. I had like an absolute like. This needs to be possible in the setting, and the thing that needed to be possible in the setting was, of course, the Akira bikes fight scene. That needs to be possible in the setting. So, I'm very sure, because that was like my one neon sign.
I can go digging for it, but do you want to just keep going to see if we can get through all the questions first?
Yeah, let's keep going. Right. We don't need to dig. We got it.
Okay. So from Deathstrike924, when using the control net action as a net runner, it says you can use each individual device on the control node using a separate net action, but you can only activate the access point once per turn. Does this mean that you can use the control node, hence activating it, controlling one device within, which makes it count as activated, so no other runner or demon can activate it on the same turn? Ooh, I would love to comment there. But you can use additional net actions to control more devices on that level. For example, a control node is connected to 3 drones, and you have 3 net actions. Could you connect to the node and then use your 2 remaining net actions to control the other 2 drones? I think this is a case of someone who might have overthought it.
I think the wording is explicit in what you can do with that. I think you might need to reread it. But I'm going to I'm going to pull up core, and we're going to make sure.
Okay.
I had
Race you. I'm not going to pull out the physical book for this one because I know exactly where to go to in the core on PDF because I was looking at something the other day. Watch this man beat me, even though I just bragged, calling it now.
Allow user to control things attached to that. Each control node can only be activated once per turn. So, if there was a net architecture that theoretically had a control node in it, and that control node controls multiple drones, you can only use a net action to control one of those drones, basically. However, there's nothing stopping you from making a net architecture that has 3 control nodes, each of which control 1 drone. In that case, if you had a control of all 3 of those nodes, you could use 3 net actions to, control each of the drones.
I think I see the logic in this one. It's because the drones were used as an example. This may be for somebody who's trying to use drones in combat, and it would be a lot cheaper to have a net architecture that has, just the single control node and them controlling 3.
You need one that has more nodes. That's the value of more nodes. That's why it's more expensive.
And it does say you can only activate that control node once.
But you might have a big factory, right? That has its entire assembly line. All the 12 different machine steps, all on one node. And you could only do one thing with that if you had control over that control node each turn. So, that's just how it works, action economy wise. This is one of those things.
I'm trying to keep the action economy in check. I mean, like we say, once you go ROF3, for example, the game starts getting broken. You start to go way off of balance. Razor Grizzly. They didn't make it into a previous mayor's desk, but that's the question here. Is there any way to act as a human shield with or without an actual shield? Ideally to cover somebody already injured. Kind of like being equipped as a human shield just willingly. I say that's just straight up GM fiat.
If your friend can't use the equip human shield action, and by raw you can't do it, but if you're providing cover, doesn't have to be a surface, if that makes sense. If your body is fully in front of someone, you really can't shoot around. It can't shoot around you.
Mm-hmm. Unless doing a ricochet or something weird with a smart weapon. Still, straight up blocking a bullet for someone coming in, just the whole straight up putting your body between theirs.
You can do that with positioning. You don't have to do that with the human shield rule. So hopefully that helps. Positioning on the reason why the cover rule is written as it is so that it can apply to situations, a large amount of situations, and that is one of them.
I got a big one next. If
they can't see you, kind of hard to shoot you.
You ready for a long one?
Okay.
This will be our last one of August, so we're going to be caught up to September. From Avigor. All right. Circling back to the questions about martial arts and grapple interactions. While rules on that are clear, the wording there is throwing me off. Sorry, I'm just going to read it as is. While rules on that are clear, the -2 penalty applies to skill checks if you are grappled/grappling, and the martial arts resolution is a skill check. My questions is as follows. When not trying to beat enemy evasion, the static DV for a vast majority of martial arts resolutions is 15. So, nice. It's understandable that trying such resolution as Aikido's disarming combination, which is 179 of the core rulebook, will be difficult to do while grappled. Granted, if you are trying to perform this action against the target in grapple, they will also suffer the -2 penalty, so they somewhat cancel each other out. However, there are several special moves that either require you to grapple or being grappled to perform. While their DV is also, with their DV also being 15, Example, Arasaka Te escape hold, page 170, page 76 of IRV4, meaning these moves will never not be with a -2 penalty, effectively making their DV 17.
Yes.
Wrestling martial arts have both moves which require grappling, while multi-arm melee smack together can stack penalty even higher. Question, is this the intended interaction for these moves, or oversight by just giving DV 15 as a default for the majority of martial arts moves?
All right, so this is a game design question.
Yeah, there's still more to it.
Question.
I'm not done. Since this feels like the moves are specifically intended to interact with grapple mechanics suddenly becoming more difficult to pull off because you're in a grapple. Yeah, go ahead. I think they were giving more of a critique there than adding to the question.
Right. So this is a game design question, so I'll give you a game design answer. So Cyberpunk is a very complicated game. And tabletop role-playing games in general are very complicated. One of our core design sort of pillars in Cyberpunk is to have a simple core that is added onto with crunch. So you can teach players the core system, and then as needed, they get these nodes added on to them. It's sort of designed modularly in that way. So the reasoning here behind the 15, people learn things in chunks. So the value of having most of these move EVs be the same is very high, especially when we're expecting people to maybe take multiple martial arts. The second that you have different numbers and people have multiple martial arts, that has that level of, oh God, I need to check my notes every time I do this. So it's designed so that people learn the martial arts node, and then, I mean, probably before they learn that, they'll learn the grapple rules node. And then once they know both, they're naturally able to combine them in their head. I could write it such that the rule doesn't have the 15, it has the 17, and it says it adds it in. Of course, that's a bad idea. I'm giving a bad example. I would never write it that way. It's also why I don't give people a bonus while they're in this area, in this space, via either of those things, because it starts to be something I call additive math, which is when addition and subtraction stack upon addition and subtraction, and make things a little bit more difficult there. The answer, so hopefully that gives you an idea of why it's that way. I think it's the best way to do that, but your mileage may vary. And frankly, if you can write a good grapple rule, you can do damn near anything in game design. I doubt this is the best grapple rule ever written. Highly doubt. I've also never read a particularly amazing grapple rule. It's one of those hard things to write. That and flanking and the other bugbears. Anyway, that's my answer.
All right, on to the next one with LoJack. This is going to date this question. With barely 56 days left until Halloween, at the time of the question. Yeah, I see that, LoJack. You throw that in. What's your favorite way to evoke a sense of horror in Cyberpunk Red? Any particular favorite moments of horror, either in written material or in Red games that you've played? I'll let you answer this, because if I start, I will take forever to explain.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
I
will
go
hold
on
back.
That one, I can tell.
I'll make a private video on this one.
I think there's this concept in fighting games called a mix-up. It's when you change something in the midstream of a combo to kind of throw the opponent off, because if you keep doing the same thing, they'll figure out where they need to shield and where they need to grab, and then they're doing their combo very quickly after they figured that out. Anyway, one of the things that horror is messing with mostly foreshadowing. Most horror movies are about how well can I do foreshadowing. Um, a lot of the Final Destination series is like let's make a movie that's only about that. You know, um,
It's a lot of moments of very encapsulated foreshadowings that bad things are happening, that it's going to lead to something very quick.
yeah,
It's a quick payoff.
yeah, it's quick payoff. Um, so basically, Cyberpunk, there's this idea called stochastic violence, which I will not explain because I don't want to get this video demonetized more than it already will be.
Well, no, we're doing good this time. We're doing good this time.
It's the idea of that things can become randomly violent. It's the very real modern day horror of being at a Christmas market, and just what's happened at other Christmas markets. You know what I mean? Being in a crowd of people at any time. It's that idea that
dread.
danger could randomly exist. So here's the thing: in a narrative, we have both foreshadowed stuff that can happen. Then you can really mess with them and have foreshadowed things, and additionally, stochastic violence. The idea being that you are in a narrative, right? But this world doesn't have a meaning. It doesn't have a purpose. The danger in this world almost doesn't even it's uncontrollable in a way that no one really has a handle on public safety in Cyberpunk. At least it's Cyberpunk Red. And at any time, bad things can happen. But also, you're in a narrative, so something can be foreshadowed to occur, great. And on the way, something horrible can happen that was not foreshadowed to occur at the same time. Anyway, so messing with pacing and foreshadowing is how I like to put horror in.
I'm holding
back. It makes
back.
people think of the movies they've watched, and Cyberpunk Red is a lot about action movies and movie storylines and whatnot.
You can have Cyberpunk,
especially in the GM section.
You can have Cyberpunk quite literally be, if you want to, Alien and Jaws, or you can make it be Predator. Depends on your flavor. I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I will not go into what I do to inject some horror into my games. By the way, whenever we joke about getting this video demonetized, it's not because it's supposed to be demonetized, it's just because it's a funny way of saying we don't want to make it too extreme for YouTube.
Oh.
But I can tell you this right now, less is better whenever you're setting up something truly scary later on down the road. I'm working on something that revolves around the fact that they're at a gala. It's supposed to be a social heist. They're supposed to get into a locked off area, classic stuff. But soon, if they take too long, for some reason the guards got to go down there. They don't come back out. Then they got to figure out a way to get in there without jumping one of the guards and stealing their stuff. And when they do, they get down into a chamber that is completely pitch black other than red lights and claxtons. The entire air shifts from this glamorous thing of, evening gowns and suits and ties and champagne, and all of a sudden you were quite literally in an underground bunker where it's just not right. I won't share details in case I ever actually put that out. I don't like doing spoilers, but contrasts are big too. It's very fun. I won't go into it further. I'm stopping myself. From Cartographer, since sedative got added a while ago, it brings me to ask, is normal cyberware installation painful and without any painkillers? Sort of like when Davey got the Sendevastin installed in the first episode. So I'll let you answer that for me. That's just someone not wanting to pay for painkillers when it comes to David.
Mike's calling me.
Quite literally right now. Got a mic call. Want me to mute you?
Yeah, mute me.
Okay, one second, guys. We got the boss is calling.
Mike, how you doing?
There we go. He should be muted now. So, since I got a little bit of time, I'll talk about it. The whole idea is to make an expectation and then subvert it. It sounds so... Oh, I can still hear him. You can't. Okay. So, he's coming back now. Never mind. I'll go into it later more. Say something.
Hi. I'm here.
Cool.
How's everybody doing?
Yep, we're good. And I'll make sure that that didn't pop up there. I almost started my story, but you came back quick. But yeah, as I was saying about that question, that just... I always took the impression that, you know, David was so dirt poor, he just didn't pay for painkillers. Or the fact that you're quite literally going to what is effectively a chop shop for humans. Why waste money on painkillers?
There. Yeah, I mean, because you get painkillers in 77. You definitely get injected with a painkiller.
Mm-hmm.
When you, at the beginning of the game, when you're getting that surgery.
Vic's little...
So, I mean, yes, it's painful. David probably, I don't know.
That's just a narrative choice.
That's a narrative choice. That sometimes things happen in Edgerunners because that's what happened that one time. And sometimes it's because that's what usually happens. And it's hard to, when people extrapolate, like, yeah, but in the anime, this happened. This one, yeah, that happened that one time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And it served. It served the narrative. It was done for the narrative.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
I'm working on a video where I have a gap where I realized it was getting too social. So I quietly go, you know what? I'm going to throw an early combat thing in, but it's just early combat with no purpose. I don't like that. Everything needs to have at least something to it, or else it's just. It's like having vanilla ice cream. Nobody really enjoys it. We all want some Rocky Road because it's different. It actually has some foundation. So I actually put in foreshadowing in that fight and also had it serve as a block from people being able to go and rescue something else. So that way the fight served purpose because it's about serving the narrative of the story you're trying to make. And so just like with that, it looked cool. It made David look like a badass.
I like it when you're having a fight in a Cyberpunk encounter, and my one of my rules is I don't want to have a fight where the only people there are people you're trying to kill.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to be in private at all in a major city. If you're not like in the Badlands, there should be witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Most fights happen, I feel like, in crowded places in Cyberpunk. Anyway,
ready for the next
I feel
one?
like sometimes the people in the crowd should have a problem with you having a fight there.
Yeah, I will at least say the answer to that question comes down to, do you want to try to be a badass and use a resist torture check while you're getting your cyberware installed? That's what that is. Or if you don't have enough money. But it's... In Cyberpunk Red mechanically, when you pay for the cyberware, you're paying for all the medical costs as well to it, including painkillers. Unless it's something stated differently by your GM, you're getting the actual installation, which would be painkillers, or else that'd be a real not fun time.
I mean, you have to, and you have to pay for your installation costs if you just get it as loot or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that is intentional, because that is like, one, the value of having a med tick on your team is you might not have to pay that.
Mm-hmm.
And two, there simply must be a tax upon rampant cyberware ripping and reinstalling.
Mm-hmm. Whenever it starts going that route, when my players start getting too heavy into the ripping of cyberware, that's one of the few times I actually do the humanity ticks, because they start treating people less like people and more like loot boxes where they can rip things out of them. And that's a pure example of humanity lost to me.
sometimes it's not for me. But certainly if you're in public and you're chopping off people's arms after you had a gunfight, and there are people like watching this is horrible for your
Mm-hmm.
reputation.
It's horrible.
Well, one, it makes you, to other mercs, it makes you look like, why did you need to do that?
Yeah, it's
You know,
people really don't
poor?
capture how
You know
much
what I
of a
mean?
bad
Like,
look it
you're
is.
not getting paid for these
They're
jobs.
just being loot
Like,
gremlins. It's hilarious. When I see it rampant, I'm like, man, I know crews who would never work with somebody who does that in broad daylight, or even taking a body into a back room to hack up. That's
that's a bad reputation.
they
Like,
become the scabbers of 2077. Everyone loves killing.
Treating the human body like it's like that, like even if they're your enemy, that's not going to give you a good reputation.
Sorry, so from Aoki, does Kendo cut the bullet work against Gunfu's Wu technique? Cut the bullet works as, oh god, I bit the hell out of my tongue last night, by the way, so if I speak funny, I'm sorry.
That's a tongue twister anyway.
Yeah, cut the bullet works as you are being shot with a ranged weapon using its single shot firing mode. It explicitly states shot with a ranged weapon, not ranged attack. Gunfu Wu. Oh, I didn't see the period there. Gunfu Wu technique is considered a melee attack, but it is still a ranged attack making the attack.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it. It's a bullet. You can cut it.
You're getting too into technical. What is the thing flying at you? A bullet.
No, it's a bullet.
Yeah.
And it's not. I think also there's an alternate reading of that where it does work, but this is the like. Yes, it works. Don't worry.
Well, the funny part is too, is like it's not like they're throwing the whole gun at you.
Yes, they're not throwing the whole gun at you.
Which would be funny as heck and something they could do, but that's a whole different attack.
They are Hong Kong cinema style. In the gun. There was a gun in my hand.
Yeah, so it's saying it's. Wait, let me reread that. Let me reread that 1 second. Position of the words. I'm just double checking something.
I believe that we also did an errata.
Yeah, I'm actually reading this through.
That like directly fixed that.
Yeah.
Because we felt it was. Oh, it should work. It might be unclear. We errated. I think that's what happened here.
Yeah, that's the thing that made me stop. It sounded like it was an old reading. Yeah, we clarify it's by a ranged weapon. So that's the reason why I was like, that sounds like from an older read. So
we got it. We can move on, right?
Yeah, from Cemetery, when headquarter upgrades from No Place Like Home, or remember, Hope Reborn, that's where those rules truly came from. We just released them for free there. For example, the evidence wall grants some bonuses when you have access to the evidence wall. Does it exclusively refer to currently being next to it? Yes. I already can see where this is going. Yes. Having access seems to imply that it being able to use it and have access to it in an ongoing sense will provide the ongoing benefit.
You gotta, you gotta use it. You gotta, yeah. You have to like be using the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cemetery claims the bonuses seems rather eclectic, but no, it's designed to make you go to your headquarters.
Yes, it's trying to make you like actively do a cool investigation scene. So yes, please do it. Basically.
Yeah, the whole idea of a headquarters is to use the headquarters. It's not to put things in it to get passive bonuses out in the world to never go back again.
Now, it's also meant to be bonuses that, because you need access, can be taken away.
Also, there
is a base rating aspect.
The only way I could see this bloody working is if they have someone in the headquarters and they're calling them on their agent and seeing it through a camera or something. But that starts to get too jury riggable where they're like, oh, I'll just put a camera in the room to see it. No, somebody has to use it. That's a story
point, though.
Someone has to.
You have access to it. You're like, Jim, can you go into my wall? Oh, yeah.
Pull this clue for me. Yeah. You see it. That's narrative, though. And
at that point, you're just like, That
You're
blurs
working
the
with a
lines of
team.
like, are you doing this for gameplay purposes, or are you like, have you been tricked into role playing a heist movie? You know what I mean? Like, if you need to be tricked in order to role play,
Next one is
I
from
hope it's working. I'll put it that way. I hope it's working.
Next one's from Jeff DeWitt. Hello, what is the feasibility of having a street poison that has a tertiary effect that only activates if rapid detox is applied? He's a GM and like to give his players a dilemma: either fight through some kind of debuff or get rapid detox, but then you take damage as a vial of poison. None of my players are medtags. Hit me.
I got a great answer.
Hit me.
You're a GM.
Yeah.
Don't have to ask me what's feasible. Cool
Man.
idea, man.
It's palpable how much whenever we answer that, it ticks some people off.
It's not. It's not.
It is as it is. Like, hey, cool idea. Make the item. You can do it right there.
It's feasible. He was asking if it was feasible.
Yeah,
it's
it is
like,
feasible.
Yes, it's feasible, and it's a cool. Yeah.
Come on, Sparky. Fun. You know. I recognize the name. That's Sparky from Reddit. So Sean, he says, Gorilla Arms flashcards state that they allow for two-handed weapons to be used in one hand. The user can wield two weapons in one hand.
Gorilla Arms flashcards?
I think that's from... In the mission kit, we have cards for weapons and items.
Okay.
But it says the user can wield two-handed weapons in one hand. Is this intention that... Ooh, okay, the wording on that's weird. Give me a second. My brain is just not braining today. I just can't read. Is this intention that... Okay, I'm just going to read this as is cold because I'm not able to get the tonage right. Is this intention that the is in relation to the melee weapons similar to the ruling regarding body plus 8, or is it as just reads? Can someone with a set of gorilla arms one-hand a shotty? Well, gorilla arms are... Yeah, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. That jumbled my brain reading that, and I blame it on me being tired.
But first off, don't refer to the flashcard. Refer to the full text in the book. The flashcard is there to help you. It's to assist you, but the full text in the book, that's where it is. I do believe that it allows you to wield a two-handed ranged weapon in one hand, if that is your question. The reason I believe this is because I designed it in order to be able to do what you see in the show, and what we see in the show is, of course, You're gonna make me reopen old wounds, aren't you?
Well, no, don't do that. Don't do that. By the way, I'm
she
pulling
used to hold them like that.
Yeah. Cope. I don't care. She's dead. So, the gorilla arm description. This reinforced fist can be wielded as an excellent quality heavy melee weapon. The user may wield weapons in this arm's hand as if they had body 11. When purchased twice and installed in two separate cyber arms, the user can also pry open doors or move thick cover, choke, and slam if they had body 11. And where is those cards? Here's the cards in the back.
Doesn't it?
So what these cards are in the back, remember, are just abridged versions of the full text. And so here it just says, use melee weapon skill. The fist of a gorilla arm is considered to be a melee weapon. The user can wield two-handed weapons in one hand. Rate of fire rules still apply. If installed in two cyber arms, the user can perform checks and move objects, pry open doors, choke, and slam as if they had body 11. It's just for quick reference. And
it's the same thing, right?
It's the same thing.
Okay, that's the same thing. Right, it says weapons, not it says weapons. That means all weapons.
Mm-hmm. They're saying the fist counts as a melee weapon. All right, another from Jeff. I'm the GM and he had a puckish notion. Can a tech upgrade a set of light armor jack, reducing the armor penalty into the negatives, such as that the armor now gives a +1 bonus to reflex, dexterity, or move? He's thinking of Jackie Chan in the tuxedo, but wanted to see what we thought. This is going to be what we said earlier to his question.
You can do whatever you like. You're a GM.
You don't need our permission.
That is going to have... You don't need permission. First step. Second step, that is horribly imbalanced.
Yeah, it's gonna get wild quick.
Full stop. Don't do that. if you care about balance.
Some people don't care about balance. They want the OP thing,
so
though.
Just because it
modifies stats. It's because it modifies the most defensive and useful stats.
1, 2, theoretically, everything gives you a +0 to every stat. So lowering a +0 into a negative, positive, I would never write it like that.
So,
if you're going to give a bonus, just give it a bonus. Don't give.
So I have
don't view it as inverting of the polarity on a penalty. Don't think about it like that. If you want to give a bonus, just give a bonus when you're doing tech upgrade stuff.
I'm keeping time in mind on this. We have 2 questions that are 5 days apart from Myriad. I'm going to ask them both at the same time. So the first one is something I can just directly answer. Are programs effectively destroyed beyond repair, or are they repairable? And that's when they're destroyed by like an ASP, for example.
I believe the ASP, if it says destroyed beyond repair, it means it.
Mm-hmm. It's the verbiage of it. It says destroyed, you can fix it, but it's honestly cheaper and less of a risk to just buy the thing. That's why they're cheap. And then the next question is... Go ahead.
No, true. That's true.
Myriad asks again, if you're a human shield and someone shoots your captor, can you use Cut the Bullet from Kendo to block the attack?
It says targeted at you, right?
No, they're targeting the captor, so therefore no.
Okay. Yeah, you can only Kendo.
So this is the logic.
You can only cut the bullet things that are coming for you.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When you're being held as a human shield, they are moving you in the way of the bullet against your will.
Yeah.
And you're taking the bullet for them, unless whoever's shooting you is an asshole and starts shooting at you, then you can cut the bullet. But that's just the way that triggers, because think about it. You're being pulled off balance. You're being shifted around against your will rather than being ready to intercept and protect yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone who's actually being held as a human shield? They are helpless. They know if they move, you know?
I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't. The human shield rules don't. Yeah. A lot of human shield questions. I just doubt they ever come up in gameplay like this.
It's a very niche question.
It's highly niche. Anyway, we can move on.
Yep. From Fish of 5, if you're behind cover, can you dodge a grenade that's thrown behind you or otherwise includes you in the explosion radius? Yes.
Yeah. Being in cover doesn't change anything about your ability to dodge.
Unless you're trying to phase through the wall, which that makes no sense. Oh.
It doesn't matter, man. That's not... No one ever said anything about phasing through walls.
I'm just having to go off of my limited question here.
They'll be like, they said I could phase through a wall.
That's why I'm saying you can't phase through a wall.
I'll say I said it.
Don't you dare do that to me. I will have to fight people in comment sections. Alex Rov asks, items such as the Cyberdude Smart Glove and the Mecha Man Smart Glove say they come pre-installed with a subdermal grip. 1, can the subdermal grip be removed, freeing up an option slot? 2,
yes.
When a tech fabricates the item, does the subdermal grip exist in the finished product? I think I see someone trying to make a money loophole here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you make the object, they come pre-installed, that's implying purchase. So, yeah. When you're making them yourself, you don't get it.
So, Cemetery asks, can you use improvised weapons with Militech commando training? Say a pencil, for example, would be an improvised weapon. Yes. But would MCL work anyways? Hell yes.
100% yes.
That's the first thought I had too. Some John Wick shit.
That's what they're designed for.
Exactly.
That is what they're designed for.
It's a light melee weapon. And if it's... When you look at the weapon categories in Cyberpunk Red, it's less about what the weapon actually states. You know, katana, dagger. It's more about what's a light melee weapon, what's a medium melee weapon. So you can just pick up a lunch tray, and that will be a light melee weapon if you want to really be that silly and smash someone in the head with it. Is it really going to do that much damage in real life? No. Are we playing with action movie rules? Yes. It's hilarious. Yeah. Do it. But yeah,
that is That is very true. A lot of people don't get the idea that if Jackie Chan picks up the object, it becomes a weapon. It doesn't matter if it was like a metal fish on a table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they even ask here further, are improvised weapons their own category that MCL can't pick, or do improvised weapons work? No, improvised weapons are not their own category, because the way it's just designed is you grab a thing, that thing is the weapon, your GM makes the call on how heavy it is.
I think we're very clear here. We can move on.
I just like the question because John Wick got brought up in that one. The moment I saw pencil, it made me happy. Myriad asks, okay, we're asking this question straight to you. I'm not getting involved. Are the Hello Cutie Sparkle Eyes Shiitake mode meant to work on targets with meat eyes only, as the listing at the bottom of Cutimus says, or also on targets with cyber optics, as the item description says? Ooh, do we need to do an errata?
One more time.
Are the Hello Cutie Sparkle Eyes Shiitake mode meant to work on targets with meat eyes only, as the listing at the bottom of Cutimus says, or also on targets with cyber optics, as the item description says? I think I have to pull
Item
up.
description always trumps. The full item description always trumps. Go with that one.
Mm-hmm. Always go with the full description.
Always go with the full description, never the like, here's a quick listing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's, let's see here. I'm just double checking it.
Even though constantly those mini descriptions confuse people, I still think they're good.
Well, the point is, for quick reference, you're supposed to refer to the large description. That's the whole point of why we did them. You're supposed to have the thing you can use in the game to remind yourself, and then you have the thing you actually keep in mind. It's meant to be like a flashcard. I could tell it went over, it confused a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And the way it straight up says is, wait, where? If paired as an action, a user can force a target with functional meat eyes or cyber optics within 25 meters or yards to make the check. So it straight says right there in the current description, page 6, cyber optics or meat eyes. Both.
They have to be functional.
Functional. But it says both.
If you can't see it, it doesn't matter. I just want to... That's a cool little extra bit.
People are going to say, but what if I close my eyes?
Show functional.
Always go with the listing, not the summary. Jay sometimes messed up summaries. You're good, Jay.
No. Jay doesn't mess them up. The concept is flawed.
Hey, Hot Toddy Bear just made a great joke. By the way, Hot Toddies are the best drink ever. Summaries are just the ad copy for the weapon in world. I actually like that lore. That's going to be canon now. I have no scope on canon. Oh, someone made the joke that summaries are just the ad copy for the weapon in world. I think it's pretty funny.
It's funny.
So we're 6 minutes over, but we can do a couple more if you want to.
Let's get it all out of the way.
All of it?
Maybe a little bit more time for...
We have less than 10 left. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We're doing a long one. We're catching up the whole backlog today. From Tomas Towski, thanks for the response. Here's the follow-up question. The original question was, would attaching/installing meat limbs to an FBC cause them to suffer humanity loss? If I remember right, we said you just straight can't do that. If I remember right. But it could be extremely wrong. Could tech upgrading...
One more time?
Oh, it's...
Tech upgrading the meat limbs to be able to be attached?
Yeah, so could tech upgrading the meat limb, a custom and probably invented tech upgrade, make it FBC compatible? If not, what's the reason? Here's the thing. Let me finish. This is important. Okay. If not, what is the reason behind disallowing FBCs to use regular meat? Is this the interface? Regular human does not even need to have a Okay. They're trying to get... Yeah, no. Go for it. All you. Go. You're going to say what I'm going to say.
You're a player, I'm assuming. If your GM allows those inventions, which, by the way, in the invention text, the GM can, say, no, this doesn't work. This wouldn't work. If they choose to allow those, then you can use them in the way you're describing. The thing is that if they haven't, then you can't. And asking us if you can is kind of a moot point. Talk to your GM. I hope you're a tech. Maybe you should multi-class into tech if you're not. Yeah. If you want these things.
It's it makes no sense
really
to go ahead.
I just have a huge why.
Yeah, it makes no
Why?
sense to go backwards when
Why do
you're
you
already
want these
at
things?
what FBCs are. If you're going for a full body conversion, you are shooting for a very specific thing at in game. Why are you trying to rip your arms back off and put on things that are less than what you already have?
Be an inverted meatball.
Yeah, you. Have you ever ripped open a Furby? That's the exact thing I thought about just then.
This also, it just can and sounds like something that someone suffering cyberpsychosis might want to do. Like
trying to regress out of it. No, you've already pulled your brain out of the body.
Deep role play. This is deep role play.
Oh God. I can't get that out of my head now. I just thought about ripping open a Furby and you still seeGanic ears and feet and you're like, why? Why is this thing here? But it's that, okay, to stop the joking aside, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the absurdity of the idea that a FBC would do that. Straight game-wise, you have already removed your brain and spine and put it in a biopod. You did that with a pure scope of getting into an FBC body. That's something that people plan for from the creation of their character. And so it's no matter what really you try with that, you're basically trying to reattach something that just is not going to work. It just, you're trying to put...
But if the GM says it, the tech upgrade.
But I actually think Abigor just made a very good point here.
Then
Hold
it
on.
could be cool. Then it could
Abigor
be fine.
did just make a very good point here. Their humanity is probably at 0, and that's where they're trying to put flesh back on. They're trying to pull out of cyberpsychosis because they did it too low.
Yeah,
that makes it make sense.
I think you could invent therapy a lot easier than you could invent this. But let's move on.
Yeah,
let's move on. Thanks
it's a fun question. That's a fun question.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's weird because
but
I can
it is one of
picture
those
Cyber
like
Psycho trying it. Yeah,
it relies on a tech upgrade, so that does require an interface between you and that GM, and we can't
get
in
GM.
between that.
Rizzy asks, another FBC question. The Wise Man FBC frame in Going Metal notably lacks any interface plugs to utilize its 4 separate cyber decks. Normally, integrated cyber decks require interface plugs to operate. Is this not the case for FBCs? And if it is necessary, would you need 1 set or 4 set of interface plugs?
Read the other things that it has in it.
Uh-huh.
There's a cyberconductor. So read that. You'll find your answer. Let's move on.
Yep. The moment I was reading through that, I was going to say the same thing, cyberconductor. I remember
one of the benefits is that it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
So, also, if it needed it for all its cyber decks, no wise men would be sane.
They're already borderline. I'm loving the FBC questions. This is making me happy. From Jericho Saxis again in the DLC Elflines Online, the trading card game.
Yes.
The price category Dirt Cheap was introduced. Generally speaking, what are the DV and time required to fabricate, invent, or repair an item of that price? This is all you. Dirt Cheap's what? I think it's what, 1 eddy? 5 eddies?
Yeah. Follow the pattern set with the other work, or wait for my answer in the distant future.
Don't you dare talk about future products here.
Distant future.
Okay. I'm watching you. So Inferno. Hey, it's Inferno. Hey, James. He says, hey, James. Is reinstalling chipware and quick change mounts... and quick change... Oh, my goodness. I just cannot brain today. Is reinstalling chipware and quick change mount cyber arms like swapping already used FBCs, where your current drops to the max, or does the current stay higher than the max?
So, I believe there are circumstances in which the current would be, but they'd be only temporary. I think the quick change mount rules are as raw as written, and they do not use the same rules as the FBC changing bodies.
I do believe so.
And that is intentional.
I think
so
you're right.
Please use the standard. Please use the each circumstance for its own unique use case.
From Curator. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So from Curator, how long do you estimate a Night City's merc career typically to last? Weeks, months, years, decades? I know it's a fairly open-ended question, and that a veteran merc will probably last far longer than a fresh punk who guns it into a suicide mission. But he wants to hear what we think. I got comments on it. I'll let you go.
I mean, this is a lore question
Mhm.
at the end of the day.
They're my favorite.
And the answer is I would imagine that after you survive a certain number of years, you find yourself like in a much smaller cohort than people just starting out. Um, the I think Edgerunners really showed a great example of this when they had the new guy come on, right, for that one job, and how quickly that lasted, and the general like disdain of like, oh gosh, we have to bring a newbie along, and it's
Yep.
because if you can't cut it, you have a very short career. And there are more people because of the desperation of the setting. I mean, everybody's desperate in Night City. And because of that, there's a lot of like new edge runners who are not going to have a very long career, and that skews the numbers. I think that's I think that's a pretty good answer. And certainly, if you're around for a couple of years, you'll start to, know people who've been around for a lot more.
Yeah, it's well, it's what's that wonderful quote? Fear an old man in a young man's game. I would say edge runners burn out before they wind up getting to that age more often than not. That's why the few you run into who are of much more advanced age and more experience are so feared because they made it past the filter, for lack of a better term. Youth and exuberance has no chance against old age and treachery, and that stands pretty firm even in the game of edge running. So from Curator, oh no, that is the question from Curator. God, I keep looking at Curator because I finished Clair Obscure like 2 weeks ago, and it's still stuck in my head. I see Curator, and I think, spoiler. Oh, hey, Going Metal question from Sero. Going Metal is unclear. Is it? It says that intelligence, tech, willpower, cool, and luck, body, and humanity carry over, and that reflex, dex, and movement are affected by installed cyberware. What are reflex, dex, and movement without any hydraulic upgrades? Do your base stats carry over too to the upgrades?
Yes. But I don't believe that you can do that.
Well, a biopod doesn't have reflex, in my opinion.
It doesn't. It would be the base of the thing that you're putting it into, which is all built off of a frame.
Yep, linear frame.
I think it's clear.
Don't make me get the book. I'm not going to get the book for that one.
No, that it's. There's no way we've had that huge of a glaring problem this whole time. You're getting put in a body, and that body, it says what it is. If you don't have the wired nervous system stuff, then it doesn't get upgraded. It just becomes your typical.
So we have...
What was your typical before installation?
I no longer can control down. We're in the final stretch. Unwise Me asks, do you keep humanity from immunoblockers if you succeed in the DV21 roll? The wording for the secondary effect says the secondary effect DV is to just avoid the above effects. Effects which include any humanity gained via the drug is lost. We're going to make me go and pull out this thing again.
One more time.
They're asking if they do they keep the humanity they gained from immunoblockers if they succeed in the DV21 roll. Straight wording again. Do you keep humanity from immunoblockers? That's exactly what I just stated. Basically, because of the wording of the secondary effects saying the secondary effect DV is to just avoid the above effects. Effects which include any humanity gained via the drug is lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. They keep you stable until they don't. But remember, when it comes to the wording and the way things are set up in the mission kit, they're going to be clarified much more deeply in the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 campaign and rulebook, which we have announced. I can talk about that. I can say that now. All right, some Civet and Voodoo. Is there anything a medtech can do whilst giving therapy to someone for downtime? Specifically, they can at some point during that week create a single batch of pharmaceuticals, which only take 1 hour, or is it truly just matter-of-factly they can't do anything at all, period, for that entire week, because every single day an hour is taken up by therapy, even if they use something like Surge for a day? I think I see this is someone giving therapy to a friend's player. They want to do downtime too. They want to know if they can do their downtime as well.
No.
No, it's you're helping them out.
That's you're spending the time together. You're like going on walks on the beach. You're patting them on the shoulder. You're telling them they're worth more than they think they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's just the way it's set up. If you dedicate your time to this, you dedicate your time to this, or else it gets very complicated really fast. From OMG LOL WTF Barbecue, I still struggle with your name. I'm going to start calling you OMG. Can all defenses that use a combat number and without a stat block, specifically reflex of 8, perform bullet dodges, mainly applying to turrets, air or ground drones, and the K-Tech dog? Similarly, if an ability, I can't recall if there are any, refers to a stat, this unit is treated to have... the wording on that caught me off guard. They're asking if drones have stats because we use combat numbers for drones. But combat numbers are based off of actual stats.
Yeah. But also sometimes they're a way of us going like we're gonna speed this part up, because if we fully went into those things, it would slow down gameplay immensely.
Why do I
This is a question of a lot of the things that can't dodge bullets straight up say they cannot dodge bullets.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't we say somewhere that drones can't dodge bullets?
Yeah, they're missing a clarification sentence somewhere. Anyway,
don't worry about me digging in here. It's just for me trying to remember, because I think I remember us saying we can't have drones dodge bullets, but I could be entirely wrong. I am human and fallible.
I mean, certainly if turrets say that they can dodge bullets, the intention is not to have turrets dodging bullets.
Yeah, a turret is not stationary.
That is not what I intended. I think in place defense. I don't think I even said in place defenses couldn't dodge bullets, because I just assumed. I may have just assumed that people wouldn't have that take. You know what I mean? Because like, can a wall panel dodge a bullet? Like a wall puncher?
Friedrich just clarified for us that we did say that. I knew it. I knew I read that somewhere.
We said
and I wasn't.
We said it. Oh,
apparently. Okay. Yeah. At the end of IR1, we clarified. Thank you, Friedrich, because I literally was sitting here like, I'm pretty sure I read that. You guys don't understand how many Cyberpunk books I've read at this point. It all starts to blur together, and I'm wondering what the hell I'm doing. This is actually a cool question. This is a really cool question. What's to stop Taekwondo's flying kick from being vertical movement? Can a user with jump boosters jump into the air to fulfill the movement requirement and then roundhouse kick somebody?
That sounds pretty cool. Do it.
It just sounds cool. Do it.
It sounds cool. Do it.
Just heel drop a motherfucker from 2 stories up.
Nothing is stopping that.
Yeah, it's just cool.
Directional movement.
Yeah.
Because like every time, think about every time you've seen a flying kick in like a action movie. Like sometimes they're vertical, sometimes they're less vertical. It just has to be what it is.
I'm just thinking Street Fighter. That's all I'm thinking of, just Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
Although now I know someone's going to ask the question, can they do that with Skydrivers? Calling it now because there's been Skydriver talk lately.
Skydrivers are great.
Y'all made a good thing. Where is...
Y'all?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck. I did that.
Y'all mean? You were there.
I know. I forgot that one was my idea. I'm proud of that one. I'm not braining. I am not braining. I just wanted to double check the jump booster. It doesn't count an action or anything. But yeah, cool. So next, can antibiotics be used to heal you if you spend your downtime days doing something other than healing? From LGN MC.
No, it changes your rate of natural healing. Natural healing has special restrictions. One of those is, I think it's clear.
Let's see, because it's you're just healing every day naturally. You don't take a downtime week to heal unless you're missing an arm or something like that. But that's me as a GM. Yeah, I saw those eyebrows, James. That's what I was like. It's just like me came with it. Never mind. Let's see here.
But you have to not do like heavy activity.
Yeah, you have to avoid heavy
Hustling
activity,
is
of course.
heavy activity.
Okay, I stand corrected. From Fatuza, what's the reason behind having thrown objects use the grenade launcher table DVs instead of pistols?
That would be, so this is a game design question.
All you.
Why is it this way and not this way? It's because I wanted the range at which grenades are balanced to both. I wanted them both to have the same range, whether you throw the grenade or shoot the grenade, because one of the ways grenades are balanced is on ranges. You have two different ways to do it, right? You can use athletics, or you can use a launcher that would, change, be whatever the launcher's skill uses. Usually heavy weapons. And basically, it's to lower the amount of like additional edge cases you had to remember. If when you're using a grenade, you know which table you're using because both throwing it and launching it is the same table. That's good. There's a cap on that table when you throw it, I believe, to stop it from being like, it's actually the same. Why would I need a grenade launcher? Accessing the further distance on that table is all about having the actual object. So that's the benefit you get from that. Anyway.
All right, so guess what? We have 3 questions left. First one's from Gappy, who was curious if he wished to go the FBC route and my character already has some of the components of the FBC package, like an internal linear frame. Do I get a discount when buying the FBC, or do I pay full price?
Sorry.
You're buying it for the body, the FBC body. You buy the whole thing.
Now, here's another thing.
If you're going to say
uninstall,
yeah,
you could uninstall it and then sell it off. But you're looking at like cost of getting it uninstalled and then sell it, which would basically mean you're trying to get medtech time for free, which works if you have a helpful medtech fun, happy player, but doesn't work if you're, trying to save some money this way by going to a hospital. It'll just cost too much money.
All right, so next one is from Numa. 2-part question for a reason. Okay, we've now that things are a lot more in control, we don't mind the multi questions at this point. When we were getting all the questions up front, we're like, no, we got to limit this. It was getting too wild. Does Netrunner Scanner reveal access points through walls? And is it all control nodes connected to a NetArch must be an access point, or can it be an access point? This is a wording question.
No. The second part of it is usually they are. They don't have to be. The first part of it is in the scanner's description.
Well, the reason why they're asking is it would seem weird for a Netrunner to stand outside a building and reveal every trap that exists in the building with an interface role.
Not all traps need net architectures, though. And the net scanner says in an area. Yeah, you have to be in the area. You can't be outside the area.
I always treat it as in the same room or a line of sight. That's what I do whenever I'm playing my games.
I treat it as floor, general space. Depends on because you can be in a football field or you can be in an ice cream shop, right? Like, those are 2 different areas.
I go with the same logic of really you can't connect to an access point if there's a wall in your way.
Yeah, you can't connect. But scanner is like, scanner intentionally doesn't say that it's blocked by walls.
All right. Last question. I saw people trying to type. That's why I put that.
Look,
that
if you want to
point.
jack in, you do, which you're going to need to do in order to act on anything that you scanned. And you are going to need to be, have that connection to that access point. And that one is blocked by walls.
So our final question is an IRV4 question. Martial arts. Here we go. Last one.
Oh, yeah.
Because now I got to go. For Krav Maga's contact combat, if someone lands a critical on the damage roll from an extra brawling attack granted by Krav Maga's punishing blow or boxing's punch combination, does that trigger contact combat, or because it's a brawling attack, it does not? I think they're trying to see if there's a loop here that happens if they constantly keep critting and get extras.
Okay. Krav Maga's contact combat reads.
Yep. Coming right up. What is this? Oh, it's FPCs. Where are you? There you are. Of course, my little page right there. It is. No, I was on the right page. This turn, you inflicted a critical injury with an Aikido, boxing, judo, karate, Krav Maga, or wrestling martial arts attack by using an Aikido, boxing, judo, karate, Krav Maga, or wrestling martial arts special move resolution. Once per turn, when you fulfill this requirement, you can use the martial arts special move resolution to attempt to beat a DV-15. If you succeed, you may make a single brawling attack against a target you inflicted a critical injury on this turn.
Okay, so one more time.
Huh? Fine.
One more.
Okay.
Run it back.
Requirement 2?
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Okay. This turn, you inflicted a critical injury with an Aikido, boxing, judo, karate, Krav Maga, or wrestling martial arts attack, or by using an Aikido, boxing, judo, karate, Krav Maga, or wrestling martial arts special move resolution. Once per turn, Once per turn.
Doesn't it say once per turn?
Once per turn.
Okay, so read the effect again.
When you fulfill...
Not the requirement.
Thank God. Because that's the tongue twister I was struggling with, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I thought you were doing that on purpose to spite me. Once per turn, when you fulfill this requirement, you can use the martial arts special move resolution to attempt to beat a DV-15. If you succeed, you may make a single brawling attack against a target that you inflicted a critical injury on this turn.
Oh, it does say once per turn, so you can't chain it into itself, even if you keep critting. You are using a martial arts special move resolution. So the question is, I think you're fine. I think the once per turn part solves the entirety of this question.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's from an old version or not. I don't think it is. I think we always had the once per turn there.
No.
I can't remember.
I think it's once per turn.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, we are now done here. We have caught up with the entire Discord backlog, which means the next Mayor's Desk, well, we're going to go through, of course, the Discord questions first, if there are any, but we'll be doing a post, and we'll be answering direct questions from the chat for the first time in months. We finally caught up through that thing. Whenever we hit IRV4, those questions just flooded in. So it's good to finally have things caught up. So remember, next week, I'll be at PAX, so there won't be a Mayor's Desk. And the next Friday after that's Thanksgiving. So you will see us in the first week of December. And once again, to mention it, again, Diamond Dust's GoFundMe is down in the description of this stream. If you want to give a hand for, go ahead. But yeah, I'm spent and I have to go and take care of something. I would normally go this a lot longer, but I have to do a thing.
Go have fun, man. Quick last thing. If any of y'all aren't on the James Hutt Games newsletter, you can go to jameshuttgames.com and get on that and check out all the other fun stuff I do there for my own company.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. You all be safe, and we'll see you all next time. Don't work too hard. For some reason, my music's not playing.
Have fun, y'all.